Hello all and welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I am bringing you a run through of Ride the Rails. If you're after a shorter insight on this one, check out the overview video I brought you guys last week. Now we have got the designer here, the artist, and the publisher at the top here, and this one is a 3 to 5 player game. Says it takes about 60 minutes, which I think is very accurate. And in this game we are heading across the USA and we're trying to take our passengers, give them a ride on the rails as we invest in shares, and we'll be building railway tracks, and then we'll be sending these passengers across there to hopefully attain dividends and increase our money on the outside of the track. We'll play through 6 rounds, and as those 6 rounds progress through, more shares and more railroad companies will come into play, so we can purchase and invest in them, and after the end of the 6th round, whoever has the most money is the winner. Now this is kind of that light medium complexity game, this one, and there's only me today, and I've got a 3-player setup. We've got blue, green and white, and you kind of don't quite need to see everything on this reference sheet here. The bottom's kind of a matrix of figuring out the money you will earn when it comes to dividends, but the main part you need to see is the top, which is where you allocate your potential investments in these railroad companies, and there's 6 of those. And it's one thing I should say is this game has a lot of key information on the board. You've got the flow of the round here. From round to round, it easily shows you which railroad colours come into play. You've got some information on the intercontinental bonuses there, which I'll go through. And this is a great resource for calculating the dividends that you'll be receiving as well for the various shares. So I'll give hopefully a good demo of that as we play through. You've got the player order here as well, and I'm pretty much just going to dive straight in then. So to begin with, you will have allocated your starting players here. Blue is first player, working backwards there, and the first thing we are going to do is choose a share, so A, and this is in reverse turn order. So white will be going first, they'll pick a share, and they can pick in the first round, says here, red or blue are available. So let's just say they go for a red share and they pop it on the spot here on the white player board. Over to green, then they're going to go mix it up. They're going to go for a blue share, and the blue players are going to go for a red share. So, did that the wrong one, didn't I? So green and blue. There we go. Okay, so everyone has picked a share. Now working from first player backwards, in B, you are going to get to build a railroad network. And you can take, in a 3-player game here, 8 of these little trains, if there's those available. And the only type of train colour you can take is the type of share you own. So for example, blue here only has a red train, so they've invested in the red railroad network, so they can only use red trains for now. So they're going to go and take 8 of these. 2, 4, 6, 8. Now, if this -1 here is reminding you that if you do go through a mountain hex, and you can see the slightly darker shades here, you will have 1 train less. It doesn't matter if you go through 3 of them, 2 of them, or 1 of them, you're going to be losing 1 train, so you can only play 7 in this 3-player game. Now, looking at the board then, all these sort of black hexes are the cities. You've got various ones that are coloured, and I'll go through those as we do it. You've got the West Coast with purple and black, and that'll hopefully make sense. If I get that far, I'll describe those. Chicago here, you can put as many, you can put orange and yellow and black on there. You can put as many trains. It's got sort of an infinity symbol. You probably can't see that. But some of the cities, Chicago, you get $2 every time you go there. You've got a couple of these little places that have one-time bonuses of $5 for getting there first. And this bit at the top is a bonus, one time only, for connecting the East Coast to the West Coast. And it depends if you've done it on if they connect on a city, you get $12, and if you just connect up on a random location, you get $8. So we are over to blue then, and they're on stage B, and they're going to place these 8 trains. Now the condition is they have to start on someone that has this red. So you can see these guys on the east is where this particular railroad is going to stop, and you can see it's got a ×1, so we can only have 1 train on these, and that kind of shows you on this sort of bit here on the board. So you can only put one max, so we've used this one, and this bit here says you can only have a railroad company can only access a maximum of 2 of these, so you couldn't just start going all the way down here and taking over them, otherwise no one else will have a chance to get on there. So what we are going to do then, let's have a look where we are. So probably maybe want to get to Chicago. I want to hit up as most cities as I can. Maybe I want to try and avoid this mountain network. So let's go and start down here then. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can diversify as long as they're all adjacent. So here we go. So we've placed all 8 and we've not gone for any mountains, so that is fine. Over to the green player, and they are invested in blue, so they have to take blue. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8, and they are going to start off. Let's go up here. So they couldn't place on this one because it's a ×1, and we're going to go through a railway network, a mountain to show. So we're going to put 1 back, so we're only utilising 7, and we're going to go to Pittsburgh. Come down here, hopefully try and get up to Chicago on the next round. Okay, the greens have gone, white are up. They're invested in reds. They're going to take 8 of these, 2, 4, 5, 6. You don't have to use all 8. You could just place 1, 0, 7, whatever you want, taking into condition the mountains. Now, so these guys can start from one of these locations, or they can continue an additional route in red. You couldn't just randomly start here next to a blue. And remember, if they do go there, the 2 cities have been occupied for that railroad network. So if this player had have gone there, then they would have had to connect up. So we're probably going to continue this route here, and we're going to go to Nashville, and let's place. Now, the reason you might not want to actually use all of them is because when you get round to A on a future round, if there's no trains here, you can't take them for shares. So if you are spending them all, but then you're not quite sure what your opponents are going to do. So we've only utilised them. Now everyone has carried out action B. We now go over to C, which is moving a passenger, and this starts with blue. They are going to move, so they're kind of focused on reds at the moment. And what you do is you take one of these passengers and you're going to move it on what we call a link. So this city links up to that city, and it's red, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this passenger's moved 5 links, and it's come all the way here to Little Rock. That passenger is now out of the board, and we did use the entirety of that was using the red railroad. So we moved this up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this hex here, we moved that up 5 as well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you're actually getting paid dividends for each city that they've visited. So even though it's 5 links, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities were used. And this is important because you're going to get paid this, wherever this hex is the dividend you are personally going to receive. So blue is going to go up $6. And I've just knocked that off. I've just knocked off the table. I'm never going to be able to get that. So I'm just going to pinch the 100 marker because we're never going to get up here. So where are we? We've got $6 there. And anyone who has a share in red is going to get paid out 5 per share. So blue's going to go up another 5. And green's got no red shares. White has a red share, so they are equally going to go at 5. Boom. We then reset this down. Just a calculator basically, and we're over to green, who are looking at the blue railroad. So they're probably going to go for this passenger here. They're going to go 1, 2. So they're taking out of the game. That was 2 links, all in blue. So that goes at 2. This goes at 2. They get a free payout. That was the green player. And they're the only ones in blue, so they're going to get paid out 2 for the share they own. So you can already see the difference of having several players in your share. You're kind of committed as investors to that railroad company. Over to whites. So whites haven't even done anything and they're off the track because they've got a red share. And they can still use the same network as long as there's a passenger there and to move along. So they're equally going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that passenger off. We go 4 up on the red, 4 up on the white. They're going to get paid out 5 for their their bonus, their dividend, so they're going up to 10. They've also got 1 share in red, so they're going to get 4 for that. That takes them to 14. And the blue player is also going to get 4 as well. There we go. So these reset. And that, folks, was literally a round. We moved the round marker down and we reset this one. And we are good to go. So over to, we've determined player order. So this is based on whoever has the fewest money on the outside tracks. All your money's on the represented on the track. So green is now going to be first, white second, and blue is last. So bear that in mind. But blue in phase A, the last player will be getting first dibs. So they're looking now at the capability to have red, blue, or orange. So this is blue going first. So they got a red. Maybe they're going to go blue. So yeah, they're going to take a blue share if there's one available. And white are up. So many colours. I'm really trying hard to focus on the whites and then the colours of the trains. Right, whites are up and they are, let's go with an orange. Show you how that works in terms of location. And then finally green, who are going to go for a red. Yes, we're going to go for a red. That is everyone on A. You've invested in shares. Doesn't actually cost you anything. You literally just get to take some ownership in that railroad. Over to B then. Green are at first. They've got blue and red shares, so they can take a number of these up to 8 or 7 if there's mountains. And they are thinking, okay, let's connect up 1, 2, 3. So you can see we've met the requirement now. We can have up to 2 these little trains in one spot besides the ones that have the ×1. So that is fine. And I'll show you why I've done that in a minute. We've kind of made this nice little route here. And this was the green plane. They're invested in both. So we used 3 trains for that. And we're probably going to go 4, 5, 6. We're going to get a $2 bonus. This is for greens. And we're going to call it there. We're not going to use any more. So that was the green player. Over to whites who are in orange and red. So let's leave the reds for a moment. We'll let the others do the hard work because everyone's invested in red. So we're going to take all 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, interestingly, you can see on here, oranges, it kind of shows you that where they can be placed. So in this case, it can be placed in Chicago, or it can be placed on one of these starting locations of the orange. So the colours match up nicely on the board. Now these guys are white, they're invested in red. So if we did start from around here, we're trying to sort of connect up to this so we can make one large trip, and we can only have 2 of them. But if we do start from Chicago, yes, we're gonna do that. And remember, you can have as many railroad companies starting off from Chicago as possible. We're going to get a $2 bonus for having gone there. So let's try and link up to St. Louis, and then let's try and link up to Little Rock. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8. We avoided that mountain patch there. That's the white player. Over to blues. I'll probably just do one more round, folks, because they're very streamlined, these rounds. Okay, blue is up, and they're in blue and red. Now they're tired of green, really, so how can they really differentiate how they're going to get ahead slightly? Let's not think too hard. We're just going to go for blue. We could go for some blue, remember? 4 and 4. We'll see how that works out. So blue, it has to be adjacent to a blue one, or we can start on one of these because there's one available for blue. We will, let's go up here. 1, 2, 3, and we are going to go 4, 5, 6. We're going to take the bonus. That's for the blues, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One time use only, that. And we're going to leave it there. So everyone's completed that. Over to C. Starting of green player then. They are invested in blue and red. Now you could go on any colour. It might be the case that you start from this passenger, and let's say that wasn't quite there and it did start here. You could go through the oranges and then back through the blues. It's just that you're giving dividends to the orange player when you're not invested in them, so you probably want to avoid that. So let's start here, shall we say. And as well, you can't loop around, so you can't, use this city, come round again and use that city again. So we're going to start here and we're going to go 1. This is green, isn't it? 2, so that's 2 reds. So we're going to move red at 2 spots. And we've moved that one at 2. We're then going to go 1. Which way should we go? 2, 3, 4. And we're going to finish there. So we've gone 4 up on the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll move 1, 2, 3, 4 up on that. And so you can see the more links and cities you take your passengers on, the higher this is going to get. So that might be a reason why you want to go through orange and go up here if orange does work out to be more, because this goes higher. Even though you're not involved in getting dividends at orange, it might be marginal, they get 2 or 3 money, but this goes up high and you're getting more money as well. Okay, so we're going to leave it at that, and green is taking the passenger off. So green's going to get 7 money. That's up to 14. And they're going to get paid $2 for the 1 red share. This is green, isn't it? And they're going to get, for the blue share, they will get, where are we, $4. Oh my days, there's so many colours. $4 for green. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, everyone else equally is going to get paid out, so we'll move that down. So reds then, everyone else is going to get 2. So that is the blue player and the white player. And the blue shares, we've done green, and blue is equally going to get 4. Okay, so these reset over to the white player. So they're in oranges and reds, so you can see the passengers are starting to dwindle, but you can still take them down to these locations. And orange and red, so maybe we want to start up here, and we're going to go 1, 2, so we've done 2 in orange, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're taking our passenger down here, 5 on red, and that's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to keep doing this, folks. It's just for demonstration, really. But the white player would go up 8 for this. And then each shareholder, like we've done, they'd get 5 for this because they've got the 1 share. If they did have 2 shares, it'd be 2 times the 5 is $10 for that, for your dividends. So everyone who's got red shares get paid out that, and then whoever has oranges gets paid out for that, and your passengers off the board. We'll go over to blue. I'll do 1 more for blue. So they're in red and blue as well, equally the same as these guys. So whatever they are doing is going to benefit these. So maybe their only way to get an advantage here is to avoid oranges. Or do they? If they do involve oranges, they can get a higher number on the hex. So where are we? Blue. Let's say we went 1, 2. I'm trying to think of a sneaky way. That's kind of a loop here, which I can't do. We'd only get to there. Go 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, you can see that the strategy is to try to outdo your opponents by that subtle extra dividend income, and you can see how tight it is. So I'm going to leave that one there. Everyone's done their passengers. You literally keep going, folks. Once you get to this next round, you figure out the starting player order. You now bring in the yellow shares. The yellows, as can be stated, can be started from Chicago or the 3 furthest cities to the west. So depending on which ones have been populated, and it kind of shows there, you could start from those locations as well. Next one, the purples come out, and they have to start either on the 3 furthest west, I believe, as well, or on one of these that have the purple. This stage, you can see that the blacks can start on anywhere where there's black, so pretty much everywhere, I believe, those can come out. And then the final round, you play out. Now, this trans-intercontinental, if I can pronounce that, this bonus for connecting one of these multicoloured places over to here is potentially going to get you some nice money as well. So if you make that connection there. Once these 6 rounds are over, it's literally whoever has the most money. There's no calculations of what your shares and your values are. And whoever has the most money is the winner. There we are, folks. Enjoy.